Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Not only could I spend the rest of my life preaching about that, what I just read, I could also spend the rest of my life just pondering that and how that informs my life. There's so much in this gospel. One of the things that I've noticed is that we're in the 6th Sunday of Easter, and we human beings, we like being afraid. Maybe we don't like it, but we are good at it. You know, almost every single gospel since Easter, you hear this, fear not. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Don't be afraid. Fear not, fear not. Because we just like, I don't think we like it, but we respond as humans to things with fear so quickly. The resurrection of Jesus Christ, quite frankly, I get it. It's an awesome thing. And it's not something that you experience every day. And I'm not saying that the disciples and the people that encountered Jesus were crazy, but I am saying that we do have a kind of a reflex to fear as human beings. And what I want you to notice is what Jesus' response is almost each and every time. Maybe not every time, but boy, it's consistent. Thomas, right? Got that a couple weeks ago? Doubting Thomas, I wasn't there. You know, both times he encounters his disciples after he's raised, the first time and then back when he meets with all of them with Thomas there, peace be with you. Do not be afraid. Peace be with you. Today we hear, peace I leave with you. I do not give as the world gives. It's interesting to think about that contrast, is that this whole understanding of peace, because think about peace. It's a word that hasn't lost its luster. We still talk about it as if like, whew, peace. And a lot of times we just kind of start with peace as the cessation of conflict. Doesn't sound bad, does it? I'd take that, right? Unless you are like me and just really love conflict. Ha. But peace that Jesus is talking about is deeper, it's better, it's more than just the absence of conflict. As one of my favorite theologians, Frederick Buechner, talks about, he says that peace is not just the absence of conflict, but it is the presence of love. It is inviting us into a way of peace. On this Memorial Weekend, I also want us to think about, we talk about those who have lost their life in times of conflict and war. And Jesus' way of love is inviting us to wage not war, but wage peace. A peace that surpasses understanding, a peace that takes us in. This invitation to live a life characterized by peace. And yet we are fearful. And the other thing that I have found that we are really kind of addicted to in our culture today, and I think it's been for a long time, I don't think it's new, is we love drama. Right? Holy mackerel. It is like we are addicted to it. And people, Madison Avenue has known this for a long time. They capitalize on that, literally, is that we just love it. And we kind of go from fear to drama, and the drama stokes the fear. And and then in a situation now is that I really have learned, and I have this teacher from seminary named John Rebelbus who is with God now, but he just echoes in my brain because he would say to look for leaders in your life. Who will you follow? He thought that was a really big deal. And he was talking to people like me who he said, yeah, you think you're going to be the leader, but you need to know who you're following. And I was like, whew, that's important. And he would talk about seeking leaders that didn't stoke drama, but kept the main thing the main thing. Wow. So we have lots of leaders throughout the world that are doing just that, right? I'm looking, but we have another way. And I think that's why a lot of us are afraid, is because these structures that we thought we could kind of count on are like, what is going on? And so fear and drama, or the way of love and peace. There is another way, folks. It's our faith. A faith in a God that loves us more than we can ask or imagine. A faith in a God whose leadership is around servanthood and sacrifice, around raising up the lowly, about reminding us that we are all in the same boat. Stop drilling holes in it. Another Drabellicism. And we forget that we're in the same boat to our own peril. And yet, this peace that God in Jesus is calling us to is not a head in the sand peace that just says, everything will be fine, we just all need to get along. No, it has teeth. It means to work for justice, but it means to fight the temptation of fear and drama every minute of the day. Yesterday, we celebrated Andy Bang's life here. A life well lived, and something that I heard in the remembrances and something that I experienced in Andy's life that I was like, yes, I need to remember that. Is that especially, a lot of people talked about it, I talked about it, but mostly his grandkids talked about the way he loved them is that he paid attention to them. He paid attention to them. I think that is the work, isn't it? I think I'm learning more and more that the best way that I can love the people that matter to me, and even the people that might matter a little less, all right, we're all in this together, is to pay attention to them. And that sounds so simple, but it's not that easy, is it? It's not for me. So I remember, well, it was a while ago. It was when my kids were much smaller. And they learned this really quickly about their father. And I just say this before I talk about this, is it's not a glowing representation of fatherhood. When they wanted to tell me something, and they had the bad luck of the TV being on at the same time, they learned really quickly that the only way they could get their dad to pay attention was to put their hands on either side of my face and go, "Dad, listen to me." Like I said, not a glowing reflection of my parenthood. What I am realizing is that I'm feeling those hands on my face. Jesus' hands saying, "Robbie, pay attention. Resist the temptation of fear. Don't be seduced by drama. Be about my way, the way of peace." May we have courage, friends, to wage that peace everywhere. Amen.